coordinate health promotion services, and I'm also the chair of the Alcohol and Drug Advisory Council at Texas State as well. So we do substance abuse prevention in this office in terms of educational programming, and then the council actually looks at data, does a gap analysis, looks at prevention strategies that we're currently doing, looks at policies so that we can create new strategies on our campus to prevent alcohol and drug abuse for Texas State students.
Do you have any thoughts on opiate abuse on campus, whether or not it's been an issue recently?
Okay. We do 2 different surveys at Texas State. Every 3 to 4 years we do a National College Health Assessment, and we do a core alcohol and drug survey that we've done. We've done them for 10 to 20 years. Those are the surveys that we look at for our student population. They ask behavior questions, perception questions, and attitude questions. Our last core survey, which is the one we look to the most because it's a comprehensive drug and alcohol survey, when we look at opiate use on campus, if you look at a lifetime prevalence, 5.3% of our students said they used it in their entire life. I would say that that's higher than the national data, which is 2.5%. So we're twice as high, even though it's low, the use is higher here. So that might be a concern, is why is it happening here more often. Within a year, 4% of our students said that they had used opiates, and the national data is 1.4%. And when you look at in the last 30 days, 1.5% of our students said that they had used an opiate. And the stat for the national data is 0.8. And when you look at using 3 times a week or more, which you would probably consider an addiction, it's like 0.2%. And the national average is 0.3, so we're kind of on par with the national average. So some of the other drugs that rank above that would be, tobacco, alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, amphetamines, sedatives, and hallucinogens.
Even amphetamines are ahead of that?
Wow. In every category. And so are designer drugs. So, yeah.
Wow.
So that's the data that we're looking at. But the fact that we're higher than the national average in anything when we look at our drug use patterns is always a concern. Like, why is it happening more often than here? So when we do our other, I can also email you like what it was in 2010 to see if it's higher. I don't have that in front of me, but I can definitely get it to you.
Yeah, that would help for sure.
Yeah, and I also have some data that breaks out prescription drug abuse separately, which will probably present, I don't know what the data is to see where that compares to just general opiate use. Because that's what we tend to see as prescription drug use comes underneath, like it's going to be alcohol, then it's going to be marijuana, and then it's going to be prescription drugs.
Okay.
In terms of prevalence.
That makes sense.
So then part of that could be opiates, but I don't know that it breaks it out as opiate. It just might break it out as Oxycontin, oxycodone, like a sedative. So that still may not be as helpful. But when listed strictly as opiates, it's on the lower end of prevalence on our campus.
Okay, well that helps
higher
us
than
a
the
lot.
national average.
Yeah, that definitely gives us a direction on.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of information that honestly incredibly surprising to me.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I'm allowed to ask you now? I don't know if there would.
In terms of prevention services, there's always our primary care providers would possibly see someone presenting with opiate abuse or heroin abuse or addiction. So we'll talk later about some of the things that they might do to intervene with that.
Cool.
We do have a counseling center at Texas State who would be able to help our students either, obviously currently while they're here, but if they feel like someone needs like treatment, they have a case manager that would be able to get them set up with treatment, some type of addiction treatment, either it's inpatient or outpatient somewhere in the area. And then in terms of health promotion services, we do, we do the research so that we know what's going on. We have an advisory council so that we work with a variety of departments on campus to try and take sort of a socio-ecological approach to dealing with alcohol and drugs. So you can't just deal with it individually. We have to also look in the environment. What are our policies? What's the environment surrounding them that may be supporting it or giving them access or things like that. So we have to look at it holistically and comprehensively. And we do educational programming as well. We have a presentation on alcohol, and we have a presentation on drugs.
I remember
those different drugs. Yeah. So we do the prevention side, but also a council kind of looking at it comprehensively to know how to do prevention.
Do you know of any groups on campus that are Like,
Any support groups
yes,
or anything?
anything like
I
that?
believe there's an AA group that meets on campus, and the Hayes Caldwell Council on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, if you went to their website, would have a list of like NA, AA, all of the different treatment, and they actually provide treatment there.
I was looking at that.
yeah.
I didn't see so is that a state funded?
It is.
Okay.
It is. It's nonprofit, so they have different grants from the state.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then I can definitely help you further with an email, so I can ask providers some specific questions of
Yeah.
encountering possible
Yeah, you'll get
issues
that
with
email
abuse.
before 2:00.
Okay, great. And then I'll forward it on and try to get you some information.
Well, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
You've been extremely